Good day, Martial World. My name is Michelle Manu, and you're watching the Masters Hall of Fame World News. Today, we're joined by Tom Marshall from Costa Mesa, California. Tom, thank you for being here.
You're very welcome.
Well, I just wanted to get started and ask you a little bit about your experience in the martial arts and how you quickly came up the ranks in the 1970s, earning your black belt quickly and going on to competition. Would you talk a little bit about your experience?
Yes, I went to a very large high school, and I was a very small guy, so I wasn't very effective in sports. So I met my master instructor, and I was probably 120 pounds and 5'6", and he taught me how to use my body in ways that I didn't know how. You know, I could run track. That was about the only sport. I couldn't play basketball or football. So I turned into this martial artist that I didn't know. It must have been an inner spirit in me or something. And I became very good very fast. I contributed probably to his teaching and less of my ability, but you know, it just came out that way. And you know, I moved up the ranks very quickly.
And you enjoyed it? It became part of you?
Oh yeah, it was, you know, I would bow when I'd walk in my house. And my mom would go, "What are you doing?" Or out of my bedroom or something like that. So
Lifestyle.
Yeah, it was.
Well, so much so you also then climbed the ranks in the competition sector and quickly became a multiple-time champion, and I wanted you to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, in about the early 80s, no, actually late 70s, I was Ohio State champion in numerous years, and at that time it was the beginning stages of trying to get Tae Kwon Do in the Olympics. So what they do is first enter it into the Pan Am Games. Well, I was state champion a few years, and then all of a sudden became national champion. In 1980, I went to Berkeley, California, and became United States national champion in lightweight. So then started competing internationally. And
Excellent.
yeah, subsequently I was a 1982 national lightweight champion and also a 1984 national champion.
Yes, but you've been champion like 3 times. Was it state or international?
Well, it was 3 times I was U.S. national lightweight champion.
How exciting.
And then prior to that I was probably 3 or 4 times Ohio State champion and the lightweight category. Then you go internationally, and then I was a Pan Am. My first year I was probably a Pan Am bronze medal winner, and then in 1982 I was a Pan Am gold medal winner.
How exciting.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel? Did that just further your love for what you do and train harder and eat right? How did that impact you?
Well, to be involved with that caliber of athlete, and it's a completely different world when you fight nationally and then you fight internationally. The competition is so much different, and dealing with people from every country in the world and seeing how they train. And of course, my training in the beginning wasn't adequate enough. And once you get in a ring with somebody that's trained 6 or 7 hours a day, and you realize that your 1 or 2 hours a day wasn't good enough, you very quickly go home, start retraining, and then the next year you compete even better. And you know, as you win national championships and you become international competitor, you become better and better. And kind of the fun thing to do is to come back and fight national tournaments, because you're
So far advanced.
yeah, and people can see it. And,
Yeah.
you know, and they benefit from that too, because then they
Absolutely.
see that kind of caliber and they're like, how do I do that? You know, and so.
You raise the bar for them.
Exactly.
So like your progression, it's also the progression of other artists that we help. And so with that, how do you progress to a champion? What, in your opinion, makes a champion?
I think one key element in being a champion is you have to embrace losses. Losing was way more beneficial to me than my winning. Every time I've gotten beat in championships, I learned from that so much more than actually winning a gold medal. To me was was what happened to me after I lost so many
Yeah.
matches. And I think people are afraid to lose, and they're afraid,
course.
you know, in life and everything.
Right.
It's like, you know, when you get defeated and something doesn't work out for you, and you know, you just dwell on that instead of how that can change you and make you so much better. And that's, because I lost so much, that's what made me so good.
And grateful.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm totally grateful of that.
Well, something happened to you on your path during your competition, and in 1985 you suffered a severe injury which caused you to go into rehabilitation for a couple years. How did you get through that difficult, what I would consider a loss, a long-term loss of 2 years of battling with rehabbing an injury? How did you get through that?
Well, it was difficult. I was on the '84 U.S. team, and in 1985 I was doing a demonstration for a master instructor school, which, you know, the black belts do to try to help promote your master instructor.
Yeah.
And so I did this demo. I flew over these people and I landed. I tore my whole, totally reconstructed my left leg. I spent 2 years in rehabbing, and the difficult part was that I couldn't do anything with my leg. In 1985, they would cast you, and I had a full-length cast on my leg for almost 6 months. And so getting out of that, then just walking was difficult, and trying to work your way up back into where athletes at that high level of competition, just sometimes, you know, a cold or they stub their toe knocks them out of the game.
Right.
Let alone, you know, completely having to rehab a whole knee. And so after that, it was a motivating factor. I think, you know, they say you can't do something, so I try to prove everybody wrong.
Right, of course.
I can do it. So I think I became, in 1982, I tried out for, 92. In 1992, I tried out for the U.S. team again, and I was, I don't know, third place, I think. So I could have made the cut, but I just wasn't good. I just couldn't get back to that quality of an athlete.
Well, you changed your whole entire lifestyle. I think at your level, you're just a machine. You expect the body to do certain things, and when it doesn't, how did you deal with it as far as giving the audience a little bit of advice on emotionally and mentally? And you talked about physically how you dealt with it, but internally, how did you deal with that?
Well, your whole life is training and being the best you can be, and you hurt yourself, and you all of a sudden stop being able to do what you can do. You have to take that motivation that you've used to do everything in your life and motivate yourself to get back into what you could do. And I guess I was stubborn, or I was bullheaded, or I'm not going to let this put me down. And you know, you just gotta. And high-level athletes are like that. I mean, you can't. I mean, and you know, it's a weird thing. It's their ego. Your ego is a double-edged sword, because all of a sudden you've got this huge ego because you're such a good athlete, but then your ego's so big, people are like, oh, you got a big ego, you know. so that just tells you, you know, I gotta get over this. I gotta do it, and I gotta get better. And you know, that's how athletes get over these kind of stumbling blocks. And either you make it back up to that level, or you deal with it, you know, not getting up there.
Choice to be persistent on returning. Well, thank you very much, and I hope that helps some of our audience that are, you know, currently dealing with injuries. I know I am highly irritable when I get slowed down by anything, so I can imagine a cast for 6 months.
Yeah, that was terrible.
How trying that is on every level. So you're here in Costa Mesa, California, and you own a successful business, a martial arts school, and you also work with is it the Newport Beach Unified School District?
Yeah, I teach in 5 different schools, elementary schools in Newport Beach.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's a crack up.
What do you love about teaching children?
You know what? When I was in my 20s and I was teaching kids, you know, I have to admit, you know, I was 20 years old, and children, you know, bugged me. I didn't have kids. But now, kids crack me up.
Yes,
they
funny.
just do they want to learn the martial arts. They want to be Ninja Turtles or they want to be Power Rangers.
Right.
And you know, you can't really teach them. You just show them something and they can do it like that. It's not like an adult where you have to work on your left leg has to be here, your right arm has to be here. You have to jump up this leg. Little kids, you just jump and they do it as well as you did. And it's like, well, you just learned this?
I know.
And they just crack me up because, you know, I have a very good balance when I teach children. I teach respect, number one. 2, martial arts, and 3 is fun. They have to have fun. And you know, if they're having fun, they're going to do the respect, and they're
They're
they
gonna
really
learn.
they don't know what they're doing with what kind of martial art they are, but they know they're having fun.
That's right.
And when they say yes sir and no sir, and they show them respect, you know, parents like that.
Right,
you
of
know,
course.
I like, you know, respectful children just like respectful adults, and it's the opposite. I don't like disrespectful children. I don't like disrespectful adults.
I think a lot of us are there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way. So because you're successful, and I wanted to know if you could share with the audience a little bit about what you think makes a successful martial arts, you know, business today. It's different from back in the day. So.
Right, and that's a good question because there's a lot of really good martial artists that have not a very successful martial art program. They're so good in the ring, they're such good competitors, but it's the business end they don't realize. The business end of martial arts, you know, because we're not taught that way. We're athletes and we're taught about relating martial arts. We're not really taught about, okay, sign this contract
Right.
and, you know, you pay us
Advertising,
right,
media,
exactly, and
waivers.
you know, you got to cover all your bases, and I think to be a successful business person, one of the most important things I think in any business that you have, customer service. You have to make the kids happy. You have to make the moms and dads happy. You know, customer service. You know, in any industry, I'm going to go back to a place that is nice to me and treats me right. So I relate that to my students. I mean, I treat them right, and they're very respectful to me, and the parents enjoy that, and so I think, as far as the business end, I'm really bad at that, but I make it by. I have a lot of students that help me, you know.
Never mind, audience. Forget his advice. I'm just kidding. Well, you know, we're concluding your interview, and I wanted to ask, for the audience's sake, what is something they wouldn't know about you?
Okay, yeah, that's an interesting question. And as we were talking yesterday, I like gardening. That was maybe, I don't know if that's it.
It's lovely.
But you know what it is that I was this fierce competitor, and I had this switch that went on in the ring, and when I got out of the ring, the switch came off. The amount of energy that I put in competition, that's the opposite of how, like, my personality. I'm so non-confrontational. I'm so passive.
You're peaceful. And
Yeah,
harmony. Yeah.
Exactly. And as peaceful as I am now, that's how overwhelmingly aggressive I was in the ring. But people didn't really get that until they meet me outside the ring.
Right.
Wow,
you're actually a nice guy.
You're not mean.
Well, it's funny. We were on Dynamic Dojo Talk Radio this past Sunday, and our discussion was there was that switch, the warrior switch. I call it the Empress switch for us women. But
right.
yeah, there's that. Of course, Bob Deal of Dynamic Dojo, one of the co-hosts, said it. He would have used a different terminology for the woman.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, I think we all, you know, that have trained, whether it's MMA or it is traditional warrior martial arts, we do have that switch, and we're trained for that. You know, we're mostly peaceful and aware, and then when something happens, that switch goes up, and here we go. This is what we train for. So I know the audience is fully aware of what you're talking about.
Good.
Thank you so much for being here today. I would like you to give the audience a way to contact you, your school, your email, your Facebook, anything that you would like to have.
My email address is marshalltkd@aol.com. My phone number is 949-631-8001. And, you know, I'm always there. That's where I live.
Well, thank you again
You're
for being
very
here,
welcome.
Tom.
Thank
It's been
you.
our pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Well, thank you for watching this episode of the Masters Hall of Fame World News. I'm Michelle Manu, and you can reach Tom Marshall or any of our guests at worldnews@mastershalloffame.org. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching the show today. If you would like to be a guest or know of someone who would like to be a guest on the Masters Hall of Fame World News, please write to us at worldnews@mastershalloffame.org. Thank you, and stay tuned.